Bachelor Nation. What the hell is going on?
We got a lot to get into. So
Yes.
Get your roses, get your tea, and get your snaps.
And get your pilot hats.
I'm Dash Katz,
And I'm Keydra.
and welcome to the new episode of Love. Really?
Really?
We have a really exciting interview today. We are talking all about The Bachelor with experts from the Washington Post, Maura and Jacob.
So excited?
So stay tuned for that iconic interview. Oh Lord, so obviously the ending of this season was insane. What are your thoughts? Who should Peter have chosen? What do you think of his mom, Barb, that the internet is coming for Barb?
Hashtag love Barb.
Do you love Barb?
I love Barb because I feel like she was looking out for her son. The stunt. Come here, Madison. Come right here. That little stunt that you pulled, sis. No. As a woman of God, I tell y'all all the time, I love me some baby Jesus. I don't think it's appropriate for someone to try to impose their views and their standards on someone else. I think that's extremely problematic behavior. And for her to basically give Peter that ultimatum, very disrespectful and better with Peter, because if it was anybody else, they'd have been like, girl, you can hop on the next Christian Mingle link and get to pushing because this is The Bachelor.
Oh Lord. Well, okay. The Madison stands are gonna come for you because she has like a cult following.
Right. I do too.
And listen, like my whole thing is, I don't necessarily think Madison was wrong for saying, hey, like if you sleep with someone else, that's gonna be really hard for me, because she's being clear about what's gonna upset her.
Right.
And I think it's good to be communicative. However, it's like, girl, what show did you think you were signing up for? That's my whole thing. You know what you're doing when you sign up for the show. It's The Bachelor. You know during fantasy suites that The Bachelor or The Bachelorette usually bangs the final three.
Right.
Like, because, you know, you got to test the car before you buy it.
Hello.
And if you want to save it to marriage, that is great. But this is definitely something that probably should have been expressed earlier.
Yeah.
And you can't expect him not to be intimate with his other relationships. He's not just dating you.
Exactly.
So I don't really think it's that fair.
It's
but
not
at the
fair.
same time, it's like it's very complicated because it's like it's good she was honest.
Yeah, but I think the problem came in where she literally gave him an ultimatum. She said, if you do this, I'm not going to do this. And that was wrong because you can't push your beliefs on someone else. That's not fair. Just because that's something that you chose not to do, that doesn't mean that Peter can't have fun.
Yes. And as far as Barb has the internet shaking. They're all saying Victoria F is not the villain of the season anymore. It is now Barb. I think it's not fair what Barb was doing to Peter, because she basically was guilting him into choosing Hannah Ann. He needs to choose Hannah Ann because he wants to be with Hannah Ann. And the tea is, it's clear to me that the connection between them is just not there.
Right.
I feel bad for Hannah Ann. She's really giving her full heart. She's ready to commit to him. But the truth is like, it just wasn't there. He clearly wants Maddie.
Right.
So that's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. And you know, there's another thing. I'm going to give you guys a lesson, America. You can never, ever come between a mother and her son. Mothers do not play about their sons, okay? I don't know what it is about mothers and sons, but I've noticed this, they don't really play. So if that's how Miss Barb feels, either you're gonna like adhere to what Miss Barb has to say, or you're just gonna be miserable, because Miss Barb's always gonna win.
But the thing is, she's like, bring her home to us. Bring her home to us. Like, girl, it ain't about you,
It's
sis.
not.
You already got a whole ass husband.
Right.
Like, it's about Peter and who he wants to be with.
Yeah, that's cute and everything, but she might not want that other girl up in her house. I'm not mad. She might not want to look at her at Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not angry. Shoot.
But you should support your child and who they love, no matter who, as long as they're good to them.
But if they're making a bad decision, then you know there's that.
But
We need a little bit of intermingling from mom.
what do y'all think? Are y'all hashtag Team Barb or hashtag Team Madison? Answer in the comments below, and maybe we can spill some tea.
Because mom always sees something that you may not be able to see. Mom knows which one of your friends are trash before you know which one of your friends are trash. And mom knows who in your relationship is trash before you know. And Madison was trying to be very manipulative and very controlling. You see, what's the other little one?
Hannah Ann.
Hannah Banana. You see, she's not going to control anything. She's just like water. She's just going to go with the flow. You know, she can be like, you know, like, she's not a threat. Madison, she's the one that's gonna come in. She's rearranging everything. She's telling Peter, you gotta be in bed by 10, up by dawn, pick the kids up. Like Madison's gonna be a lot. And Peter's mom already sees that. We see that Peter isn't the most mature. You know, he isn't the most outgoing. So Barb is smart. She sees what Madison is trying to do. She really tried to use her like spirituality and her goodies as a bargaining chip. Like, who does that? That's not cute.
But she was just, okay, like, in defense of Madison, like, I feel like she was just saying, like, listen, if you do this, it's going to be really hard for me. She wasn't saying you can't do it. She was saying if you do it.
She basically was saying don't do it. And that's why her little self showed up late, all dramatic, to the rose ceremony. And then I heard the car pull up. They were like, she's here. Like, here, girl, you late. I really wanted Chris Harrison to be like, girl, come on.
So would you pick Hannah, Ann, or Madison if you were Peter?
If I was Peter, I would just go with Hannah Banana because Madison is too controlling for Peter.
I feel like Madison and Peter's they're not a match, but she's the one that he's in love with. Hannah Ann, like if it was me, I would pick Hannah Ann.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have the same kind of connection that him and Madison do, but I don't think him and Madison are compatible. So I think Peter's gonna end up, despite everything that happened at the finale, I do think that they're all gonna end up alone.
They should all end up alone.
And maybe they'll end up in paradise, you know?
They should all end up alone. Because none of these people are ready for a relationship. If Madison was really comfortable within herself, she wouldn't have had to, use her cookies as a bargaining chip to get Peter to be with her. She could have just very simply this is how I feel.
Oh my God, they are gonna come for you, girl. Wait, and then can we really quick just say, did you hear who the new Bachelorette is?
Clear.
Do we like
someone
that?
mature, someone that's a little seasoned, someone who has a little bit of I love that it's Claire.
I'm really happy.
So excited.
It's what the show needed after.
Yes.
The people that have been the leads recently have been too young. We need someone
young, very
older
mature.
who's actually ready for marriage.
A little life experience.
I'm excited. And Claire's not the one. She'll drag.
Yes.
She'll drag a boy if she needs to. So.
I'm actually going to watch The Bachelorette. Since Claire is Claire, I'm actually going to watch.
Hell yeah. So now let's get right to the interview with the Washington Post. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us today on Love Really. So let's get right into it. What do you guys think of Peter as the Bachelor throughout this season?
So Peter has been an interesting Bachelor to watch because he's so indecisive, and that makes him kind of terrible, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's surprisingly unpleasant to watch, precisely insofar as he actually seems like he's really emotionally invested in it. Mm-hmm. He seems kind of always taken aback by the degree to which he actually feels things, and it makes everything just a little bit icky, for me at least.
That is hard to watch because you want him to make better choices and to see through that, and I just
he's so desperate to please that he can't please himself. It's just a really miserable, unfortunate situation.
No, I agree. I think he's just immature. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of maybe immaturity. I wouldn't deny that he lives with his parents. It explains a lot of what we saw last night.
Yes. We're gonna get into that.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me.
I think that may be really what it is. He is always using the sort of language of self-knowledge, of therapy, of self-mastery, and of self-care, and of care for others when he's talking with these women that he is, in theory, at least dating. But he doesn't actually seem to know anything about what's going on in his own inner life, assuming anything is. There's some degree to which he may be just a sort of zombie who spits out these self-help catchphrases.
By the times of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's rules rather than by anything in his internal life.
Yes.
It seems like he says the same thing to a lot of the women, in my opinion, throughout the process. Like he's telling a lot of them basically how into them he is, and like it seems very similar to me, and I'm just like, you are just telling people what they want to hear. That's what I felt.
Yeah, that seems right.
And the more that they pull away, the more he wants to tell them, and the more he's attracted.
Yes, you better
Yes.
speak on it.
Yes, look at you. So what do you guys think about Barb, Peter's mom, and her reaction to Madison and Hannah Ann?
I have so much to say about Barb.
Yes.
I actually like Barb. I think I'm the only one who's team Barb.
So, I mean, Barb, I have a lot of mixed feelings about Barb. First of all, I think Barb explains pretty much everything that's wrong with Peter.
Agreed.
Oh, that's
Barb's, with that, like, extreme emotional reaction that she had and kind of, like, emotional manipulation, like, you can see why Peter is drawn to the people who are, like, the most dramatic and kind of, like, the most cold and unloving to him, too. Like, because he kind of, you can see how he equates drama and tears and, like, just chaos with love. And so that's, like, why the whole Victoria thing happened, I think, is because, like, his model of love from his mother is that it comes with tears and chaos and shouting and, like, all of this kind of craziness.
Are you a psychologist, too?
That explains so much, first of all.
I mean, on the one hand, she's totally right that that to be with Madison, that he would have to radically change his life. But he knows a disquieting amount about. I mean, I do not want my mother to know that much about my sex life, my party life. She knows everything.
right.
Yeah.
Way too much. But on the one hand, she's probably right. He shouldn't be with someone who wants to change him that radically. On the other hand, she's his mother, and he is, at least in theory, a big boy, to use Madison's own phrase. Mm-hmm. And he should be the boss of his own life. I don't think she should be directing him, demanding him, insisting to the extent that she does. But maybe you feel differently?
No, I actually agree with you. I was wondering if are you both psychologists on the side? Because I think that you broke that down, that analysis, like, perfectly.
Yeah.
No, that was perfect. On one hand, I do, she is older, she's more mature. I feel like moms can always see moms can see things in friends and lovers that we necessarily can't see. So I think that she sees the manipulation in Madison a little bit. I say that I feel like she was using her goodies as a bargaining chip, but Dash told me that's a problematic statement, so maybe I'll just but I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I mean, there was she and Peter's father, whose name I've forgotten, they're also a little too into being on The Bachelor. They're too into Peter being on The Bachelor, and they themselves are too into The Bachelor. They're too into being on The Bachelor. To the extent that in the Women Tell All episode, they actually pretended to be having sex in Peter's car at one point, which is just
weird.
More than we needed. It's more than we like. Don't give everything to these shows. You don't have to. They're too thirsty. That's really what
I agree. Very thirsty.
Someone get them some Gatorade.
Just get a drink of water.
So
yes.
I do want to ask you, do you think the concept of The Bachelor is outdated? I mean, we have like these old patriarchal ideas of what it is to be a man and a woman. Like, do you think it's a little bit outdated as far as relationships?
I think it was outdated before it even, like, as soon as it started.
Yeah.
It's forever. And kind of the charm of it, in a way, is that, it has this idealized, like, 1950s pedestal of a relationship held up. It's not how anyone's relationship ever works or even should work. I think that's why so many people are attracted to it, is that this is not real. This is not real life. This is not how people choose a partner. People's relationships don't have this kind of power imbalance that you see on The Bachelor, and that's what makes it so fascinating, right?
The norms that operate in the world of The Bachelor are entirely unlike the norms that operate, at least in my life, and I assume yours, and probably in yours.
Absolutely.
Yes,
we live in New York.
But at the same time, it still is presenting itself as if it were doing it, as Maura says, this kind of antiquated, old-fashioned, fussy, 50s prim and proper thing. And that's a totally bizarre disconnect that it can never resolve, and that I think is really part of its ongoing charm to the extent that it has.
I'm glad you brought up the producers because they're messy and they just manipulate the entire situation. What do you think about the manipulation with the producers and that bottle with my good friend Kelsey? That champagne bottle, champagne gate.
So we wrote an article with our friend Emily R. a few days ago about producer manipulation.
I saw that.
The conclusion that we came to, in effect, was that we feel that what's striking about producer manipulation this season is that they are manipulating these people who know how to be on The Bachelor, people who have been on it before, who've certainly been watching it for years, if not for the full 24 or 25, however many seasons, who really know its mechanics inside and out. What they're doing is they're introducing these factors from outside, that bottle of champagne from Idaho, to an ex of Peter's who seemingly wanders onto the set, which she clearly didn't do. Someone brought her there. Someone put a body mic on her. Someone got her to agree whether or not she would have her face shown. These are all producer choices. They're producer choices that come from outside the immediate world of The Bachelor, and that thus introduce a kind of chaos into the system that I honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, I think is kind of charming and kind of interesting, because I like seeing our characters, these performers who are used to enacting roles and playing parts, not really knowing what to do or how to proceed or what their relationship to these events as they're unfolding is supposed to be.
I agree. We love the drama.
Yeah, I love
We love the
Alea.
chaos.
I love
That's really
it.
what we're here for.
Yeah, the
For
chaos.
the chaos.
Absolutely. That's why we're watching the show.
Right. What do you guys think about the lack of diversity on The Bachelor? Like you said, it's been 27 seasons. Basically, everyone is white. They do they'll throw in a little bit of color, but we all know that the black girls, Latina girls, Asian girls, they're not going to get shows. They let them get a little bit farther, but we know at this point. What do you think about the lack of diversity in the show?
I mean, it's terrible. We have no excuse for it at this point. The show has been going on for so long. I think Mike would have made a much better Bachelor than Peter. He would have been, I think he's much more mature. I think he knows himself better. He would have been really confident to watch. And so I was definitely rooting for him to be the Bachelor this season.
It's out of date in its handling of sexuality too, which is largely, if not totally, excluded from virtually every conversation that happens in and around the show, and that does seem deeply problematic. Both those things, both its handling of race and handling of sexuality.
Do you think it's an ABC choice, or do you think it's a viewer's choice? I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and Facebook groups, if you've ever seen The Bachelor, they're very boisterous and they, very candid about how they feel. They're very transparent, and a lot of comments that I've seen, they don't really seem fazed by the fact that there is a lack of diversity. Do you think it's an ABC choice, or do you think it's maybe a viewer's choice?
Or both.
Or both.
I think that ABC can kind of possibly push it off on the viewers as a reason. I think that I saw somewhere that people said that Rachel Lindsay's season didn't get as high of ratings or as high of viewership as other seasons. I mean, that's because they're setting the tone, and so it takes a bold decision from the network to be more diverse, and so the problem both begins and ends with them.
We love Rachel Lindsay.
We love her. I'm very excited about the next Bachelorette, Claire. What do you guys think about Claire coming up?
I think it's great that they're having, I don't want to say an older Bachelorette because she's not actually that old, but in this universe.
She's younger than us.
More
I think.
seasoned. We like the word seasoned.
Younger than me. But we'll also see. I mean, I think it'll depend on how the season plays out.
Right.
If they make it entirely.
Jokes,
Yeah. I mean, they could, women in their late 30s are in the prime of their lives, and to sort of treat her as if she's some kind of old maid in decline, if that is what they do, would be a real shame. So fingers crossed that they won't do that.
I hope not. And I'm personally just so happy that we've just seen Hannah Brown was what, 23, 24?
And we could
Peter
tell.
was clearly immature. I'm just ready for somebody who has more life experience and is more grounded and is actually ready for the marriage. I'm
I
excited.
mean, I will say, I don't know that any truly grounded, stable person would choose to find a mate on The Bachelor.
I mean, you said what you said.
We have more of a chance, yes.
Thank you guys so
Wow,
much.
this is so fun.
I know. I love talking Bachelor with you guys. You guys take it to another level. You guys really did a little deep analysis. I
Yes.
love talking Bachelor.
Too much about the Bachelor is our problem.
Yeah. We have broken brains.
No, I love it. Your brains are wonderful.
Well, you guys are fabulous, and thank you so much for being here. It really means
Thanks
a
for having
lot.
Thank you so much. much.
We're so excited, and we'll be continuing to read all the tea about The Bachelor on the Washington Post.
I'm gonna actually subscribe and stop trying to reset my cachet to get like.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was fun.
That was fun. They're so smart about The Bachelor.
They really are.
Who
We
knew
look
this?
hot.
We do. Hey y'all, we're hanging out with our cocktails. Mocktail for me, because I'm not consuming alcohol, but
Definitely a cocktail for me.
Hey. We haven't even started drinking them yet. We're already.
So I'm feeling some type of way.
Okay, you guys, so we're going to read your messy ASS tweets because y'all have a lot to say. And I have a lot to say about what you guys have to say. All right, tweet number 1 from @K_How26. I love Madison for being true to herself and realistic to how things work in real life. She is such a great role model. Respect yourself and don't settle for less than what you deserve. Don't compromise yourself or your beliefs. #Bachelor. Wait. I love Madison for being true to herself and realistic to how things work in real life. Nothing about Madison is realistic to how things work in real life. That's A. B. Nothing about Madison is real.
Oh, definitely not her tan.
And definitely not those spider lashes. That tan is bad.
I like the spider lashes.
No. As a girl who loves a good lash.
I think they're cute. But she does need
They're
to chill on the
crunchy.
tanning.
They're
But
crunchy.
she's a sweet girl. I mean, a role model. Yeah, she's somebody who's definitely takes her faith really seriously. I can see how that would be a role model to people. But it's like, since you're on The Bachelor,
And it's just like a role model. I think the word role model is outdated because it's like we all are people. We all mess up, make mistakes. I don't know that they're role models. And especially, why is she a role model? Because she
wouldn't give Peter her cookies.
I don't know that that's being a role model. I think that's just her choice. And everybody, I believe in women having freedom, whether that be sexual freedom, being liberated,
Yeah, can we celebrate the girls who gave him the
Can
cookies
we celebrate
too?
the girls who gave up the cookies and loved it with Peter? Let's celebrate
Yeah,
those girls too.
you better get them cookies, girl.
Celebrating both, all right? We're celebrating everybody today.
Yeah, we shouldn't award people who don't have sex and shame people who do.
Who do,
If
right.
you want to have sex as long as it's consensual.
Exactly.
And if you don't want to have sex, then don't have sex. Both
fine.
are great. As long
Right.
as you're doing what's true to you.
Exactly.
And you're being safe and being consensual, that's all that matters when it comes to sex.
And I'm
No
not-
slut
right.
shaming over here.
And I'm not going to give you a gold star because you chose one over the other. So
Agreed.
There's that. Read this one.
So we got Taylor Hopkins @Tay_Hop98. Madison is the type of role model that girls need. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I've never respected a contestant on The Bachelor/Bachelorette more.
I don't get it.
I mean, I think she is I feel like a lot of people who watch the show are really religious, so they watch her sticking to the fact that she wants to save it to marriage, and even though she loves this guy, she's not going to do it. So I can respect that.
I think it's cute or whatever, but as a person who is also, religious and very spiritual, I think the great book says, thou with, I think the good book says, thou whose hands aren't thy dirty, cast the first stone. Something like that in the good book. Take that.
I don't know what you're speaking of.
Never mind. All right, anyway.
Okay.
Okay. @Carlay123. Madison calling him on his BS is my favorite Bachelor flex ever. Him turning this around on her is typical. Bachelor 2020, Bachelor Nation. I don't get it.
Basically, they're saying, because Peter was low-key gaslighting a little bit. He was being you're being wishy-washy. When, I don't really think she was being that wishy-washy. You can love somebody and also feel say, are not respecting your boundaries. Like, I think two things can be true at once. So
Right.
I think it's more complicated. It's not black and white.
I would have liked Madison's stance more if she was like, listen, I don't care what you do with the other girls in the suite, or maybe not, I don't care if, I prefer if you didn't sleep with the other girls in the suite, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm just not going to sleep with you. I feel like that would have been so bossed up because that gave Peter the opportunity to make his decision, and then it doesn't change how she feels about the situation. You know what I mean? Because she's not changing. She's not asking someone to change for her.
Ooh, so it's less of an ultimatum and more of like I'm making my boundaries clear with you.
Right.
You do you.
You do what you want to do.
I'm going to do me.
Exactly. I'm not sleeping with you. But if you want to sleep with everyone here, that's great. It's going to make me look at you a little different. I'm not going to lie. But, it is what it is.
Do y'all agree with Keydra? Let us know in the comments below.
They do.
Yes, confidence.
Okay,
so we got at Alicia Brie 13 rant. Madison shouldn't have even expected Peter to not go into fantasy suites with the other women. ... Like, come on now, girl. It's The Bachelor. Also, just because you made a promise with God doesn't mean Peter should be expected to do the same. Shaking my head, girl. Hashtag The Bachelor finale.
Alicia Gomez, you are my kind of girl. Exactly. That last line right there is Bible. Just because you made a promise with God doesn't mean Peter should be expected to do the same. Shaking my head, girl. Alicia Gomez.
I agree. It's not fair to him in the other relationships. He's
Right.
exploring them. If that's your boundary, that's fine. But you can't tell him what to do with his body when you're not in an exclusive relationship.
At Emily Wick 15, Madison sounds controlling AF. It's not fair for her to not expect him to not be intimate with the other girls because he is in more than one relationship. Exclamation point, exclamation point. I love it, exclamation point. This is The Bachelor, not just normal dating. Hashtag Bachelor ABC. Period. Emily, we follow the same sentiments.
Period.
All right, you guys. Now I told you what I think. Dash told you what he thinks. Go ahead and tweet at us and let us know what you guys think in response to your tweets and leave us a comment below. I know you guys know how to leave comments because you've already been commenting and dragging me. So just, continue as you were.
So we want to give a big, huge thank you to both Maura and Jacob from the Washington Post for coming on our show. This is such an honor. We're such huge fans, and they were so smart.
Who knew the Wash Po really dove deep into Bachelor life? And go ahead, read their articles on the WashingtonPostSite.com.
Subscribe to them.
And also, when you guys, go ahead and subscribe to the Wash Po. Go through their Bachelor articles. They're really good.
So thank you guys so much for tuning into the new episode of Love Really. This was such a blast. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Comment your thoughts below, hit that subscribe, and follow us on our personal accounts. And be sure to tune into next week because we have the Giannina, aka G, from Love is Blind. Exclusive interview. It is gonna get messy.
She gave us all the tea and she let us know if her intimate life got any better.
Oh yeah, we got all into that. So cheers and good night. Thank you.